What do you want to do with this?
Oh, well, if you wouldn't mind, sir, would you put it over there in a box by the window?
You know, Jimmy, this is really awful.
Tell me about it.
All the work we put into this place, now it all has to come down.
Ah, cut it out. It's not going to get any better by complaining.
What do you want to do with your spotlights?
Put them in that carton over there.
You're not going to keep them?
No. Who wants equipment from a defunct drama studio?
Well, what are you going to do with them?
Turn them into cash, hopefully.
I could use some of that right now.
What happened to your immediate source of cash?
Oh, you mean Buffy?
Yeah.
No, things are kind of sour over there. She only gives me bus fare now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You know, I don't believe it. You know, I kind of thought that maybe Raven would change her mind and give us back the theater.
Yeah, I thought so too in the beginning. And then after it got started, I realized it wasn't going to work. The plan was too complicated. It was too bizarre.
Jimmy, you went along with it all the while.
Thank you very much. I'd rather not be reminded of that.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, Hector.
What's wrong with you? You look depressed.
Who, me? Depressed? Why? I mean, I'm just putting my life's blood into this carton. Why would I be depressed?
Been any calls for me?
No. Should there have been?
Yeah, I'm waiting for word from Smiley. I spoke to him a couple times last night at Sid's place, but now I don't have any idea where he is.
Does it matter?
Oh, more than you know, sweetheart.
What's happening now, Hector?
Well, you guys might as well know the worst. Raven Whitney is on the loose.
I can't believe that little old lady was looking through my luggage. Well, it just proves you can't trust anyone these days.
Away. Don't you know that it is spring outside?
Oh, for heaven's sake, are those for me?
Yes, they are.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Oh, it's about that time?
Yes, it is, and I'm starving. I want to go to a lavish restaurant with a lavish menu where I can order lavishly.
Well, I know just the place. The lavish room of the Hotel Lavish.
It sounds perfect.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're out of business.
I'll settle for a tuna fish sandwich.
No, we can do better than that. Sit down here and I'll finish up with these files.
Yes, sir. I'll try and be patient.
Tell me about your morning.
Oh, lots of exciting things.
Well, start with the most exciting. We'll go on from there.
Well, Jodi called. She went to see Dwight Endicott at his gallery.
Oh, right. What'd she have to say about that?
He gave her a check for $10,000.
Yeah. Oh. I'm sorry. I thought I heard you say Dwight Endicott gave Jodi a check for $10,000.
That's what I did say. It was the money that she would have gotten if that man who had been so much in love with her painting had gone through with the offer and if the painting hadn't been stolen.
That is a lot of money.
It certainly is.
Why? I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, the painting was in their custody. They must feel guilty about its loss, even though it wasn't their fault.
Yeah, I'm sure they do feel guilty.
It's awfully strange. Isn't it? I mean, they didn't even wait for an insurance settlement. That's a little bit generous.
I don't even think there was any insurance. Plus the fact that Dwight Endicott said that he didn't think the value of the painting was nearly that high. But since there had been a private offer for it at that price, well... Oh, Miles, I just remembered Jinx came by here this morning, didn't she?
Yeah, she was here.
And?
Well, she finally consented to have an examination, even though she didn't want to go through with it.
Well, of course she didn't, having just returned from her honeymoon.
Yes, and she thought maybe some miracle cure had taken place while they were away. She's clutching at anything now.
Oh, well, of course she is. You can't blame her. I can tell from your face that no miracle took place.
Well, I don't know for certain. We don't have the results of the lab test yet. But I know they're not going to be good. I'm glad we don't have the results yet, because it puts off the moment when I have to tell her.
Is it really that bad?
No question in my mind. She's deteriorating even faster than I thought she would. The only thing we can do now is wait.
Do you have any idea when, how soon it will be?
Very soon, I'm afraid.
For the life of me, I still can't understand how Tyler could get himself into this kind of a mess.
Eric, take it easy. He's just a victim, that's all.
Take it easy. The point is, Mike, this victimizes my entire department. This underlines that familiar old charge of police brutality. Now, there are some things the commissioner will look away on, but this is not one of them. This has hit a sore nerve.
Yes, I can imagine he's plenty hot.
Hot. He's boiling. And you and I know Tyler's a good cop. He's even bright, but holy cow, is he gullible. He trusts people too much.
Maybe he trusts the wrong people. Derek, I'm sure this hearing will clear the air. Incidentally, I spoke to the mayor this morning, and after some friendly, encouraging talk, I managed to have him agree to appoint me a kind of amicus curiae at the court.
Don't give me that Latin so early in the day, Mike.
It means friend of the court. Actually, all it really means is I get to sit in.
Isn't that unusual for the district attorney?
Who's going to object? The mayor would just like to have a watchdog at the hearing, that's all.
Well, I sure couldn't think of anybody I'd rather have there, especially with Balducci running things. Excuse me. Yes, Helen? You're kidding. Hold on a second. The one man in the world who wouldn't want you at that hearing is now outside that door wanting to see me, Eddie Lorimer. I don't want that slime here in my office.
Derek, I think you should see him. Personally, I'd like to hear what he has to say.
I guess I can't avoid it. Send him in. You believe the nerve of that guy coming here like this?
Chief Mallory. Look, I want to say right from the beginning, I'm not the kind of guy who likes to mince words, beat around the mulberry branches, you know what I'm talking
Listen,
about?
before you start making any speeches, why don't you meet the district attorney here, Michael Carr?
Oh, yeah, Mike Carr, sure. I see your picture a lot in the paper. You know, I met your wife. We had a very nice little meeting. Did you read the article in the paper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it wasn't too accurate. But then again, like I say, she's a very, very nice lady.
Look, you want to get to the point, Lorimer?
Yeah, gladly. And by the way, I'm very happy you're here because I want you to hear everything I got to say to these people. You see, number one now, I know what they're going to try to prove, you see, with their guy Damian in the trial there. You're going to try to prove that I set him up with my employee, the guy Sammy, right? That we set him up and I'm trying to get even for all the kind of stuff he did to me during that undercover operation.
Isn't that just what you did?
Well, let me tell you something. You try to prove that, I'm going to sue your socks off. What do you think of that? Okay? I'm going to sue you so bad you're not going to know what hit you, my friend.
Nobody can defame your character, Eddie. It's a little too late.
It's not too late for defamation of character, especially my character. And I'll tell you something else. I'm going to pin you to that desk. So this way you can't go running around intimidating people, beating up on people, and you pig cops can't have a field day out there.
If you're through, then get the hell out of my office.
Well, I'm not through yet. I got one more little thing I want to show you, see. This is a picture of your friend Damian.
Now, what's that supposed to be?
So this is your game, huh?
That, my friend, is your hero, Cop Damian, in my office, trying to bribe my secretary.
Get your feet off my desk. Take this junk and get the hell out of here.
Hey, you know, you guys all go to the same nasty school, don't you, huh? You got a bad temper just like your friend Tyler, don't you? Whose brains you been beating out lately?
Damian, you're right on time. And how nice to see you again.
Mrs. Saxon, it's very nice to see you again.
How kind of you to come and have lunch with me today.
It's all my pleasure, believe me.
Please, sit down. Would you care for a drink?
No, thank you.
Then perhaps wine with lunch?
All right.
Good. Michael, I think a dry red burgundy, if you will.
Yes, of course, Mrs. Saxon.
Frankly, Damian, I thought it was the best idea to order something from room service here at the hotel. So we could talk privately. There are one or two things.
Mrs. Saxon, I'm glad you made that kind of arrangement. I prefer it myself. You see, I have a very private question to ask you.
Huh?
Mrs. Saxon, Are you aware that Raven has had a nervous breakdown?
What are you saying?
I'm sorry, but it's true.
Where did you hear that?
I heard it from the servants, Spencer Varney and Nora Fulton. See, I'd cause to be concerned about Raven myself, so I went over to the house to check it out, and that's when they told me.
This is dreadful, that poor girl. I have to do something. What did they say exactly?
They said the strain that Raven has been under for so long finally prompted a complete emotional collapse.
Lord, this is dreadful. I suppose I have to admit I'm not totally surprised. Although I certainly never thought Raven was the type to collapse like this.
I'm really sorry, Mrs. Saxon. I just thought that you should know at once.
Oh, no, of course. Now that I look back on it, Damian, it does answer some rather puzzling questions I've had lately. A peculiar phone call I had with her, for example, the day before I got back from Washington.
What do you mean by peculiar?
She accused me of deserting her, which was ridiculous, of course. I did no such thing. But I just went to Washington at a time when I thought she was on a cruise.
Mrs. Saxon, that's very interesting. You know, there was something else. I had an opportunity to talk to the psychiatrist who's treating Raven, and he's a very odd character.
In that profession, they're not uncommon. How did he happen to treat Raven? I mean, on whose recommendation?
I believe it was Nora Fulton.
Oh? I don't approve of her much, you know. I don't like the sound of that.
Well, in any case, Raven has been talked into going to a clinic abroad somewhere.
What do you mean, somewhere?
I'm afraid I have no idea.
That's unthinkable. I can't have Raven out there somewhere alone. I'm going to find her, Damian. That's all there is to it. If she's not herself, then she needs help. I'm going to the house today and find out what I can from the servants. Is there any possibility that you can go with me?
Mrs. Saxon, under normal circumstances, I would love to go with you, but I have to go to a police hearing this afternoon. It concerns this trumped-up brutality charge against me. I'd really love to skip it, but I can't, unfortunately.
Now that you got control of yourself, I want to tell you that this picture makes the whole thing perfectly clear. Even if you're not too swift coming out of the gate, you know what I'm saying? This is exactly what went down.
I can't wait to hear your interpretation of this photograph of this, what do you call her, a secretary?
It's got nothing to do with interpretation. It's got to do with, what do you call it? You know, a good picture's worth 200 words. Well, this is a great picture. How much is that worth?
And just what do you think this great picture of yours shows, Mr. Lorimer?
I got to spell it out for you, right? You want me to spell it out for you?
Please.
Okay, I'll tell you. You see, your guy Damian here, Tyler, he knows that Poppy's testimony was going to hurt him pretty bad, right? Because she saw him beat up Sammy. Now, we all know that. That's common knowledge. So what does he do? He goes out and he buys a nice present, a mink coat. A mink coat, and he lays it on her. And I saw him put it on her shoulders. What do you think of that?
I've got no doubt you saw him.
You know something? It's another thing I just figured out. How come this punk cop can afford a mink coat? I mean, we're talking about a lot of bananas here. Where does he get the money for a mink coat? All right, well, look, I don't want to ask any questions that may be a little embarrassing to the police department.
Mr. Lorimer, I'd be curious to know just how you happened to have a camera in your hand at that particular moment.
It was very easy, very simple. You see, Poppy wanted me to take a picture so she could send it to her sick mother, right? So I loaded the camera, I even focused it. I go into the office to get another lens, and in pops Tyler with this coat, bangs it on her shoulders, and I went, pop. It's a real nice picture, don't you think?
Slipped through Smiley's grip, did she? Well, good for her.
Yeah, well, you'll be laughing out the other side of your mouth, Jim boy, if somebody else finds her first.
Yeah, well, tell me the gory details. How did little Raven slip away from wily Smiley?
Cute. Well, everything was set up for Raven to jump bail and skip the country.
Yeah, I get it. So then when she jumps bail, then you don't have to give the money back.
My, you're quick, Johnny.
That's very convenient, too, because you don't have any money to give back.
Oh, that 100,000 was nothing but a drop in the bucket. Raven has some more money with her right now. A lot more.
How much more?
Well, let's just say enough to pay her passage abroad and a little bit left over.
Oh, you guys are gonna con her out of that, too, huh?
Well, the way Smiley had it planned, we would have had that money with no problem at all. An officer of the law was going to confiscate it, and there was nothing she could do about it.
And Smiley was gonna play the officer of the law, right?
Yeah, it's a country sheriff thing he does. Sheriff Floyd C. Beauregard.
Well, there's just no end to that guy's talent, is there?
Yeah, but there was one little hitch. Raven didn't play her part as expected, though. She threw a bunch of powder in Sheriff Beauregard's face, and he took off.
I would have loved to have seen that. Oh, where's Smiley now?
Well, he spotted her in a town called Renford Corners. I guess that's where he is.
What's he doing there? He's following her, isn't he?
Damian, it's quite obvious to me that you have been framed. I believe that's the expression.
That's it. See, this whole situation is very sticky. The guys did a really thorough job gathering all the evidence against me. Well, Eddie Lorimer, he engineered this whole thing and then bribed his secretary to back him up.
But that evidence is contrived. All you have to do is prove it.
Well, that's what I hope to do this afternoon. I'd like to be able to convince the Board of Inquiry that I'm really the victim.
Damian, I'm awfully sorry that you've been through all this. I hope it works out for you.
Thank you very much. I guess it's just one of the hazards of the occupation.
Excuse me. Yes. It is? Yes, come right up. Damian, I'm afraid I'm going to have to make a confession to you. The reason that I asked you to lunch here today was because I want you to meet someone. And I wanted this meeting to be as private as possible.
Sounds very mysterious. Who is it?
This is going to sound very odd, but the truth is, I don't know. I'm not at all certain who this man is, but he has an astonishing story to tell. And the moment you see him, you'll understand why I had to arrange this meeting between you.
Now, I really am very curious.
Excuse me.
By the hour. I feel like I'm getting caught in quicksand and I can't climb out.
I know, Jim. I feel the same way. You know, when this whole practical joke started off, I thought it might change Raven's mind and we would get the theater back. I thought it was going to be a joke, something we could look back on in our old age and laugh at.
Yeah.
Suddenly, it's not so funny anymore.
No, it's not so funny anymore at all. In fact, it's getting dangerous. Dangerous in more ways than
I
one.
know, it scares the hell out of me.
You know what scares me?
What?
Smiley. Because he's so bright, and he's a little crazy, and he's real unstable. But the worst thing he's done is implicate us in all these scams. The worst thing we've done is to let him implicate us.
Yeah, but who knew it was going to go this far?
We should have. We let him in, we followed him. It's like this old cowboy told me once. You're always responsible.
Yeah. Well, is there anything we can do about it right this minute?
No.
Well, then let's keep busy. What, should I pack up the rest of this equipment?
No. I'm too preoccupied with this slimy mess. Did you hear what Hector said?
Yes, and I don't want to think about it.
No, I don't want to think about it either, but do you know what it means?
Yes. Raven's going to find out this is all a hoax, there was no murder, and the cops are not chasing her, and we are in big trouble.
No, she's not going to find out about it. She's traveling in all the long-distance little byways and highways, and she's staying in little hotels, and she's scared. She's really scared. She's not going to talk to anybody about her situation. And Smiley is after her.
I don't get it.
Very simple. She's traveling with a lot of money, and she's afraid. And Smiley's after her, and we don't know what he's going to do.
You stupid idiot! What are you trying to do? I almost ran over you. Are you trying to commit suicide or something?
Say what? Hey, Mama. How can you talk that way to a dude whose life almost just got wasted?
Well, listen, you're just real lucky that this car has good brakes, or you would have been dead right now.
That'd be real bad news, because I'd hate to leave this world without first getting the chance to know you. What do you say, Mama? You and me. We gots to get acquainted.